Hey everybody, this is a roof tarp. So we had a roof leak here. This is our kind of our finished product. Remember, this is a temporary fix. And there's a number of ways to go about this. This is the way I like to do it. Being able to do this is a handy skill because roofs leak and roofers schedule months in advance. So, do you live with a leak or do you cover it? The best solution is usually to cover it, especially if you can identify it before any damage is done. So we're just using a 10 mil blue tarp. I mean, looking classy. But kind of some different ways to do this is a lot of people will just attach them using these eye holes. If you live in a climate that has storms in the winter or is windy at all, this will not hold. Not for long anyway. So I use 2x4s. Gives you more surface area to contact the tarp. The way you go about that is use a drill bit to drill a pilot hole. It makes the screw go in easier. Use a 4-inch screw. Use a drill with a drill bit and a driver. And I have an extra battery just in case I ran out. I didn't. Ideally, I'd like to wrap this around, but the tarp was just big enough to come to the ridge line. The leak's way down there, but I don't know exactly where it's leaking. So we're just going to cover this whole slope from the ridge line to the gutters. And then we run, under here's a 2x4. You can see the pre-drilled with the screw. It's about 3 per 8 foot 2x4 usually does the trick. It's another one, second one goes down here. So it's about 16 feet long here on this tarp. Now this one's kind of tricky because we got this valley, we got this kind of bird box vent looking thing. So, again, temporary fix. Made sure to not cover my plumbing vent, very important. I also strategically did not go over this one. So I have a little bit more width. You can see the wind is starting to stir it. This gets a little rainwater on it. It's not going to do this as much. The wind will actually suck this off your roof rather than blowing it off your roof. You're trying to keep the air from getting underneath it, but it's going to move. Now, if you're just doing, say, a straight edge over there where you don't have a valley, it's going to get really tricky. Or not as tricky, but this is more tricky because you got this valley. There's slack on the tarp that allows air to get underneath it. There's also gaps where air can get underneath it. We want to try and minimize those as much as possible. Down here I'm using the nail method. I didn't have a 2x4 this short. Less surface area, so I'm not as concerned about here. Down here, doing what I can, and then 2x4 there to clamp it. Hole for the plumbing vent and put a temporary boot over it. So that's it. It took me about an hour to do this, and hopefully this will last 2 or 3 months until we get the roofers out here. So if you have any questions or about tarping, home maintenance, if you know anybody who's looking for a home inspection, I'm always happy to help. Talk to you later. Bye.